and I'm going to go watch it on my portable computer because it's so exciting. I'll send you the link because I got a second computer. Oh, okay, there you go. Live on computer. And I'm going to go watch it.
We're live on YouTube.
Because it's so exciting. You want to see what it looks like? I'll send you the link because I got a second computer. Oh, okay, there you go. Live on computer. And I'm going to go watch it.
We're live on YouTube.
It's delayed.
So exciting. Yeah, it's like
I'll send you the link.
Like a minute delay.
Yeah. Oh, okay, there you go. Live on computer. And I'm going to go watch it.
We're live on YouTube.
It's delayed. Exciting.
Yeah, it's like
I'll send you the link.
Like a minute delay.
Yeah.
Mike, sorry, I think Mike Henry sent out an email on Friday, right?
Okay, should say what?
Was it a previous email on the 29th? So on that he said, let me see, let me just check. 29th was a Friday. Let me see. Let me just open those emails because I think I missed those.
Mike Henry or George?
Mike Henry. So he said my nephew Mark has recommended.
I haven't done anything with that yet until I know what the design is. I'm wasting my time. Okay, go. Yeah, until I know what the design is. What am I? I don't. I'm just going to talk to more people. Sorry, everything I say now is going to be recorded, so you got to be careful what you say. Because it's going to the YouTube streaming. But
I hope nobody's joining the streaming.
No, but you can go back and look at it afterwards. That's the problem. That's the problem. I guess you can. I guess that's a dilemma. You can.
I think we can connect. We can actually connect it to YouTube and probably put it for people to view it on YouTube. But we want people to attend ours as well.
Do you see my screen now? Do you see my?
Yeah, I can see yours.
But it's not on the. But the YouTube. Waiting for the YouTube channel to show it.
It'll be. It's a bit delayed, right?
No, see now it goes. Yeah, see, oh, I see now the chart is a big chart with a small head in the top left right-hand corner, right?
Live on YouTube.
And if I change my charts, if I go like change the charts.
Speaker series agenda.
So what as you show the charts, you get a bunch of heads. Well, that's kind of, are the charts a full screen or a partial zoom? Like in the YouTube, it's a corner.
It's a corner.
The heads are in the top right-hand corner, but in the package, it's the big charts and the head on the side, right?
Yeah. The head
comes out differently on the YouTube.
I think it's different for everyone. So where do you see my head? On the right-hand side or the left-hand side?
On the top right-hand corner. On YouTube?
No, normal.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Okay, yours is on the top right.
Because I'm doing a sharing my computer, so I can't see the both heads. When you share it, you don't see the two heads. Like when I'm okay, let me just show you what I see right now.
Can I do?
That's what I see right now. Let me just show you what I see.
So I can stop a participant's sharing. Okay, that makes sense.
And now I just have the two heads. You have two heads left and right, right?
Yeah, there are
Oh.
only two heads left.
But I just want to check. So when I do show a chart, all the people are on the right-hand side of the screen, right?
So actually, no, mine is completely different. Okay, so I'll show you mine. How does it go?
Okay, once there's a few more people on, like when there's 3 more panelists, I'll take a picture of a chart. I'll show the chart. Can you send me that picture, what it looks like with 3 other people?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
so
think
anyway,
with mine, how it's coming out to be mine.
yeah, that's okay. That's fine. That's okay. Yeah. So to answer your question, I don't know what to do with Mike's email until I see what the program is. That's my opinion.
So my understanding is correct. Basically, the program will be first.
You know the problem, Hassan? I just want to see it written down.
Yeah. We are
These are the charts. I mean, this is it. You kind of say,
like how many weeks away? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're
anyway,
5 weeks away, right?
yeah, this is it. You say, this is it. Like you go here, there's a chart.
Mm.
Start at 7 o'clock. Then you say, welcome, right? You turn on somebody. I don't know who you turn on, right? Then you say, here's the agenda we're going to. We're very excited, right? This is the master ceremonies talking. These are the 3 speakers. We're very happy to have them, right? This is our keynote speaker. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to Beverly, right? And then the moderator. I don't know if there's a moderator picture. Then we got our present CEO. Then we're going to do a bit of a, oh, look how much money we've raised. Oh, we've got more money. Oh, we got lots of money. I don't know how.
Actually, what we can do is that it actually depends how everyone decides, but basically if they just say that our threshold is that we want to raise this much, and then after like a conversation, one topic, we just give a brief idea, show the chart, okay, donations are still going on, donate at this and this time, that'll be okay.
Doesn't bother me. No problem. Yeah, I guess I'm still waiting. Once I see the story.
Yeah.
It's a storybook. I've been watching. Do you watch The Mandalorian? Do you watch that series?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I enjoyed, it's a Star Wars thing, but I enjoy the behind the scenes, right? And how they, how
this is like behind the scenes.
this is behind the scenes,
And we're live on YouTube.
We're on YouTube, so you gotta have the script. Somebody's got to draw the script, cartoon paper, so everybody can work against it. And then once you got the paper, right, then you start working against. Then you get the graphics guy to make the scenes, and the director shoots it. But until it's all on paper, nobody knows. And then you got the lines.
Exactly.
Right now, I only got the time slot booked for the football game, but that's all I know. Right? It's taking a lot of time. We'll see.
How's work these days, Michael?
Oh, crazy.
Crazy?
Crazy just because my business is selling, so you have to sell remotely, so that's harder.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right. So it's much harder than used to be able to jump on a plane and visit a customer and go to a convention. But though that being said, we were very good at always selling remotely.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, we always had that skill set. But now all our competitors have learned that skill set, which is a kind of a drag. And
which type of softwares do you usually deal with?
It's our software.
It's your own software, okay.
It's our own software. So
okay, it's It's a VoIP one or no?
It is, we have a voice over IP component, yeah,
Voice over IP, okay.
that's one part of it. Yeah, so. Hope I got the right link. I think this is the link that George sent, so we should be good.
Hopefully, yeah. Usually they start joining it around 6:50.
Yep. So anyway, that's it. Business. And so, what business are you in again?
Software.
Okay, for a big company,
Yeah.
small company, by yourself?
No, so I'm incorporated, but I was working with an engineering company.
Yep.
So I was implementing a system for them, but now it's approximately over.
Yeah.
So
What was the software doing?
That's basically a quotation management system. So they used to manage all their quotations and bids on Excel. So
Yeah.
now it's changed. They had a team in India that I had to manage, and yeah, pretty much that's done.
So you're doing that on contract or full time?
Contract.
Okay, so it's over now.
It will be over. It's in support phases.
So you have to looking for another project?
Yeah, I'm looking for other projects.
Hmm. And are they trying to sell it and make $1 billion?
No, they're not trying to sell it. They just wanted to use it for themselves.
Oh, why wouldn't they want to sell it? Isn't cloud-based invoicing supposed to be, isn't that where all the money is?
Yeah, I think. But they just wanted their lives to be easier.
Hmm.
They were really complicated. Still, they're complicated.
What, the quotes or the company?
No, the company itself, the people are still following. So they're still on a parallel system. So people are just still trying to work on Excel, which makes like life difficult. If it's a one pager, it's okay. When it leads to like last week, they were working on a code that had like 200 products that need to be imported from UK. It was a disaster, literally.
Sure.
There
But
were like 7-8 pages of Excel sheets.
and how big's a quote? How much is a quote worth? $1 billion?
No. The code wasn't worth a lot. These were small items, but they were a lot of them. Actually, small pricing wasn't that much, so it was coming up to be around I think $100,000.
Okay, but is it like a lot of light items, like a bunch of bolts and planks and
Yeah,
pieces of copper, like?
yes, they were basically screwdriver bits,
Yeah.
different screw bits for an oil company.
Mm.
So yeah,
That's a lot of work for
that was a lot of work.
And then and then they have all those parts in the warehouse.
No, they got a quote from one of their suppliers, but obviously when you quote to your client, you need to add some percentage and obviously your own expense to it. Keep a margin and then forward it out to people.
Okay, then we have Gary. Gary's there, but he can't talk. He has to just
He's an
listen to us.
attendee, so
We just say
can
hi.
we? Oh, we can allow him to talk.
Nah, we don't want him to talk. Just keep him like that. We don't want attendees to talk. We want them to become panelists. Okay, we'll have to promote them.
Live on YouTube.
There he is. He should be there now.
Yeah, he should be.
Unmute.
Actually,
My wife has been trying to mute me for years.
I like this software to prevent you. We can mute you. No problem.
What I got on tonight? All right. What a day.
Attendees. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there's no more.
There's no more.
What's my God? That seems awful bright.
Right.
What's that? Oh, that's why. Okay. So how we doing, guys?
I don't know, Gary. I think we're behind on a few things.
Yeah, a couple of things. Nothing we can't come up to speed on, but it's time to come up to speed, okay?
The problem, though, there is we're supposed to be focusing on selling. So that's the only quagmire. People.
Hey, this is Rotary, okay?
Okay, I guess that's just it. Yeah, this is Rotary. Whatever. Okay.
I learned,
That's how I'm learning to stay calm. Go whatever. Okay.
I just, as you know, I'm involved with the university.
Yeah.
And at the last meeting, the provost has asked us to green light the establishment of an engineering program at Brock, which I have been pushing for 6 years. Okay. So, I mean, this is my dream come true. I want this. So at the December board meeting, I was expecting the business case. Okay.
Yeah.
Que pasa? Here it is. Okay.
Yeah.
And I basically get, well, we think we need $2 million next year, and we're going to be fine. Absolutely. It was nothing. So I'm saying, I'm being very, very polite, because I learned that, okay? Because saying what I really think has cost me many a stripe. So I said, do you think we could have a business case for the March board meeting, a full business case on the establishment of a new faculty at Brock? Oh, yes. Oh, of course, Gary, we can do this. And all the way down the line, I could hear the heads nod going like this.
Yeah.
So yesterday, I kind of said, how are we doing on the business case? So they said, we have it all done. And they sent it to me. It was 4 slides.
Okay.
Of which contained 2 pictures. And they asked for $11 million.
Excellent.
So, hang on, it's my son. Oh.
Michael here.
What did you do to the television?
What?
No sound.
Hello.
I didn't do it. Anything to it.
Well, you were the last one in there.
Hey, Hassan, I see 5 panelists and I see 2 attendees, but when I click on the attendees, I don't see
There's
anybody.
only one attendee coming up, Mike Henry.
Okay, can you bring him in?
Yeah.
I do notice a lag between attendees and being shown. I do notice that it gets a little slow.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Mike.
Hello, Hassan. How are you?
Good.
That was my youngest, sorry. Hello, George. Hello, Mike.
Hi, Gary. How are you?
Fine.
Good.
So, Michael, the moral of the story is I have learned to be incredibly patient.
I know. This is the Rotary therapy course. If you get stressed out at work, you practice running a project in Rotary and go, whatever. Okay. I can get stressed out. Okay.
No. Rotary, we meet every week, we make decisions, and quite 95% of it gets done.
Okay.
A university, you meet, and then you meet, and then you meet, and then somebody gives you something completely inadequate.
Excellent.
Did you hear, this is important information for all us taxpayers, that Laurentian University has filed for bankruptcy?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that. I saw that.
Saw that.
That is a real shot across the bow. Because if 8 years ago, Joe Robertson hadn't insisted, or I guess it was 6 years ago when I was going on, a balanced budget at Brock, we could be in the exact same situation. And rather than being in that, we ran surpluses the last 4 years.
Good.
But
And can you bring those guys in?
it is so easy.
Yes, okay.
All right.
Mahendra.
Oh, yeah, 369.
Up to 9. You're on mute, George.
George, you're muted.
Thank you, George. Gary, who did you send the agenda to? Like the play-by-play?
Just you.
Okay.
I'll speak to it though, because I was surprised at how little change was really necessary, George, as I kind of went into it. And I'll walk people through it so they get a sense. And I think if there's any decisions, because frankly, we're still waiting for a lot of information from the sponsors to see whether they're going to be done by the MC or it's going to be done by a sponsor. Okay.
Yep.
And George, you noticed I just plugged in 7 days before for the dry run. And that was based on the premise that Jennifer had saved that date previously. So I thought maybe that would be a good time.
Yep. Michael, we're going to talk about this in the IT piece, but Michael had suggested, and I noted it in the revised minutes that I sent out today, 2 dry runs. Now, one of them might be the full dress rehearsal, if you will, with the real participants. The other one might be just a sequencing with the producer and, people standing in on stage, so to speak, like the participants. But we'll get more from Michael Conway on that this evening.
Okay.
I can't see everybody on my screen, but is Judy joining us? Is she here yet?
She's
No,
here,
but-
but not
There are
hasn't been invited.
11 people, so there's Jean.
Judy's joined.
Okay.
Judy's just joining us, yeah.
Is Jean here? There's Jean. Hi, Jean.
Okay. Will your guest be joining us again tonight, Jane? The furry one? No, you're on mute, Gene. We can't hear you.
We will see.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're all here and ready to roll. Good news is, as I pointed out in my email, apparently Shubenacadie Phil, or whatever his name is, and Warge and Willie saw their shadow today, so it's going to be a early spring. I think that's how it goes. As the weather guy on one of the channels I was watching first thing this morning said, this is the day where we throw out all science and all computer modeling and rely on a rodent. But he gave us the right answer today, so that's good news. Anyway, I sent out the agenda, pretty standard, not much change from last time. I would like to scratch into a couple of different items a little bit deeper tonight, including the play-by-play, which Gary has sent out. And I'll send that to Rod just in case we want to look at that while Gary's talking about it. But so we'll go over the program, marketing and social media from Rod, the sponsorship, just a quick update on how that's going. The kit's done, so it's really a matter of executing. The IT platform, and we got a couple of items in there that we want to talk about. The producer and 1 or 2 dry runs, if you will. Mahendra sent out some information on the finance situation, so he'll take us through that. And then Rotary and other partner coordination. Anything that people want to underline or add to that? Okay, hearing none, let's dive in. Gary, can you talk a little bit about the program? I'm just going to forward your email right now to Rod.
Yeah,
so
the program hasn't changed. We've got that locked down. I apologize. I won't get into it, but there was a whole bunch of reasons that I've been a little tied up of late. I was proposing to do the dry run between 7 and 8 Tuesday, March the 2nd, is what I would call the formal dress rehearsal. And I would totally agree that I think as far as the Rotarians or the worker bees, that we do another dry run before that, which is just kind of a technical dry run. But you're only going to get, I think, Jennifer and Beverly in that once. So I would do that the week before. The reason I'll allow a little extra time in case something doesn't work or we need to find something out, let's not leave it to the last moment. Okay, so that was my thought. And I put that into the run of the program. Now, when I look at the run of the program, I haven't changed anything from what you got, other than I put an MC in. So my notion would be is that everything holds the same until 7 o'clock, and we do the video, which is a Rotary visit video. That hopefully we've got one that's 2 or 3 minutes, somewhere, but nobody has sourced that yet, Mike. So I don't know if we've got one around. I mean, it would be nice to kind of kick it off with a Rotary video. So that's outstanding. At 7:02, 7:03, it would be welcome, and I've just put welcome by the MC, which would be very short, kind of 1 minute, and it would introduce Mike, you then, okay? And you would take us. So I would think that I would write the script for you, if that's okay, and then you modify it the way you see fit, so as we get all the points. So my intent would be, if it's all right with everybody, I will write a script for the whole thing, and then we can determine who, you can modify it for your own way, of course, but that'll keep a consistency and make sure we cover everything off. So after Mike finishes what he does, then it's turned back to the MC. The MC then introduces Alana Robert, which is the Inspire testimonial, and she will do that live. And then at 7:07, we have the event sponsor introduce Beverly, and the rest stays pretty well the same. And then we have the gold sponsor thanking Beverly, and then it goes back to the MC, and then that's when the MC does the reminder tonight and the introduction of an Inspire video. So rather than having 2 Inspire speakers, I'm understanding that there's a very good Inspire video, which they haven't sent to me yet, that we would put in there. Then what would happen is the gold sponsor would introduce the panel and the participants. Then Sandra would introduce the panel and begin moderating it. And then at 8:25, the gold sponsor then thanks the panelists. And then at 8:25, both the MC and the president come on together to do a summary of the evening events. And then finally, the MC does a close for a conclusion at 8:30. So as you can see, it's not a big difference from what we presented before, other than having the continuity of an MC. And this will be adjusted, I think, as we write the scripts, to have a nice handoff. I've learned in previous times, try not to have the MC do everything. Like, for example, introduce all the sponsors and all that. It's too much handoff. So what you do is you get the sponsor to introduce themselves and then kind of doing it that way. But again, that would be all scripted for them. They would have their part of the script in it. So that's where we are kind of with the script and everything. So if that date was acceptable to the group, what I would do is then approach the 3 primary presenters to make sure that they can do it on that particular day. So that's that, George.
Thanks, Gary. I like the idea, and I'm appreciative of you writing out the narrative, Gary, and people tweak it to their own satisfaction.
Yeah.
But it will benefit from consistency throughout, right?
Well, it's funny. Last night, I couldn't come to the Rotary meeting last night because a friend of the family's passed away. And last night they did something which is very unusual. I never participated. It was a remembrance, and it was a webinar for Sandra. And it was all, and she was the wife of the former president of Niagara College. So Niagara College actually ran the whole show behind the scenes. And behind the scenes, the movement from video to movie pictures to people live, that was done really well. But the MC was ill prepared. It wasn't. The production was first class, but the execution was wanting because we all have a desire that we can wing this. I'm going to tell you, you can't wing it. You have to have a script. Okay.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Any other feedback for Gary?
Michael here. I don't, based on what Gary's verbally said, I will wait for the Word document. I don't think we need one dry run as per my previous email. I think we need 2 dry runs and then the one with Sandra and Jennifer and the final lady. So I do think we need 2 dry runs
Okay. That's
based
fine.
on that video ideas and what we're seeing. So somebody better do some math on 2 dry runs, I would think a week apart.
Well, that means we're doing one in a week.
Yeah, I think, based on what you just, I personally think we need 2 dry runs and then the ladies where we sound organized. So.
Yeah, I don't want to be
That's my
embarrassed with them. Yeah, no, and I'm all for that. I mean, if we need 6, let's do it, okay? I think we'll know after the first dry run just how much work is it still entail. But what Jeff, that basically says, Michael, is we got to get working on the scripts now.
So we'll target to have a outside of this meeting. So we've got a meeting of this group scheduled for Tuesday, the 16th, but we will schedule our first dry run meeting separate from that Tuesday, the 16th, during the week of the 16th. Okay.
Yeah, that's the idea.
And then we'll have another one, the 23rd, where we will apply those learnings. And then that'll flow into March the 2nd, where we have our, call it dress rehearsal with the real players. Okay.
For the dry run, we need the videos.
Oh yeah, I'm going to hopefully get the. I'm disappointed I don't have the video now, Michael. Okay, so I'll follow up with them tomorrow. I fully anticipate having it for tonight.
Gary, do you have a specific Rotary video in mind?
No, I don't. But I mean, there's got to be 1,000 of them. Okay.
There are 1,000, and I've got a couple of good ones. One of them I've shown at the club, but I'll send you a couple of examples.
Yeah, just short, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. But I think we want to say, and this will be the script. This is a fundraiser. Okay, open your wallet, send money. All right. Well, subtly.
It would be ideal if we can find one that talks about the development of leadership by way of membership in Rotary. There's probably one out there.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that, but I would welcome everybody else to go to the RI Resources site and check it out and inundate Gary with options. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gary.
Given that we're going to have,
That's all right. Velas is done. I did my Indian board this morning, and the week before my Indian board, it's chaos. Okay, and we do it early in the morning. It usually starts at 6 o'clock, but we're all done, so I don't have to do it for another 3 months.
Okay, good.
given that we just talked about having 3 dry runs, what happens on those weeks for the committee meeting? I don't need an answer now, just throwing that out there as a thing.
What happens? What? I didn't understand what you said.
For the committee meetings. So we plan to have weekly committee meetings between now and March 2nd.
Yeah.
On
Those dry runs are separate from this meeting. So we have a meeting on the 9th, 16th, and 23rd of February for this committee. They will continue.
Okay.
I'll set up dry runs separately. And
I would think, Rod, that only everybody's welcome, but I would think that only those that are actually participating in the show will have to be at the dry run. Hopefully we can take good notes to get feedback on things. But it's really the technology. That's what we're testing.
Yeah, the first one's really testing the functionality, if you will, if it flows and it works. Right? Okay. So anyway, separate meetings.
So sorry, George, have you sent the Gary's draft flow?
No, I did not.
Okay,
I sent it to Rod, but we're kind of past that discussion. I'll send it with the minutes.
Okay, is it a Word document on its own?
Yep.
Michael, I don't know how to do a Word document, so let's be honest.
Apparently it's not.
Okay, I do think it needs to be in a Word document.
If someone would like to put it in a Word document, and then I would have a devil of a time editing it.
It's
I'm hoping.
words easier than crafting an email in whatever email you're using, but that's a time. Okay.
I'm hopeless. But I
That's-
still have 2 assistants. So don't worry, we can get it done if necessary.
Okay, I just sent it to you, Michael Conway, in the email.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. So I will book a time the week of the 16th and 23rd of February for that dry run, those first couple of dry runs, okay? Separate from this session. Okay. The next item is the marketing and social media piece. Over to you, Rod.
Excuse me. So start with registration. That's been up and running for a week. And we have 73 attendees already. I think it's a good start for a week where we haven't done much marketing. We are at 5% of our donation target. We set a donation target of 50,000. Even though in our budget we had a donation target of 30,000, we have a stretch target of 50,000 on our website. We've reached 5% of that, which I think is good. And on top of that, there's been a couple of significant offline donations. So I had a conversation with Mahendra in relation to those. So it's more than 5%, which is good. It's probably closer to 10%. Next thing, so the save the date poster and sponsorship package have been deployed. So I'll move on from those. Next was the poster and the poster plus additional pages that we call the members kit. I received the draft from Judy today, just before the meeting. I've started to review those. I will share my feedback with Judy. I will send them to Riona. So what I plan to do with that is have the marketing and PR subcommittee to talk through those tomorrow, or if possible. If anyone wants to have input on those, then please tell me, and I'll make sure you are invited to that meeting where we have a chat about them. So thank you to Judy and Lara for putting those together. Next thing is the e-blast. So Michael very kindly sent the e-blast out, the first e-blast, and then once the poster is ready, Michael will be sending that out as a second e-blast. Next thing is the Yellow Robot paid ad campaign. So that's started yesterday. We've hit a few challenges that we're working through, and I'm sure we will resolve them shortly. So the first ad went out yesterday, and I've been told that we had good traction on that. So when we get further information, we'll be sharing that with Siddharth, and he'll then be brought into the loop of helping us to then improve over the next 5 weeks. I just wanted to, I've mentioned in the past about the budget of 5,000, the Yellow Robot fee. I just wanted to mention briefly kind of how that works in terms of exactly what is Yellow Robot doing for us, exactly what is Yellow Robot not doing for us, and who gets the $5,000. So Yellow Robot are managing our paid ad campaign. And what that involves is we send them copy and assets, and they create the content that is then posted as an advert, and they post it in very specific parts of the country and demographics and times of day, and that's what we're paying them for, to decide all those things. What they're not doing is anything else. They are a full service marketing company, And if we wanted them to do other things, that they could do other things, but we are just asking them to do the paid ad campaign. Where's the 5,000 going? The 5,000 is not going to Yellow Robot. The 5,000 is going to Facebook. Any questions on the paid ad campaign? Right.
So there is, that has started. If I went to Facebook, I should be able to see something?
No. The reason for that, so you have posts and you have adverts. And for those of you who are on Facebook regularly and you're going through your feed, you're going through, you open Facebook and you get a bunch of stuff that you flick through. That's your feed. And that feed is a mixture of posts and adverts. And the adverts jump out because they've been posted by people who you may well not have heard of, or just organizations like Gillette. And so what this is a paid ad campaign. So this is not posts, it's ads. And so it would be pretty pointless if we paid, so an advert would appear on George Vincent's screen, because he already knows about the event, and therefore we don't want to pay Facebook to put that on George's screen. So you will not see it. I can send you copies of what other people will be seeing, but you will not see it on Facebook. If you see it on Facebook, then Yellow Robot are not doing their job properly, because we should not be paying for you to see it on Facebook. Does that make sense?
It does, actually. Can you send me what they're posting? I
have done. It was attached to the email I sent you just for the meeting.
Okay.
So
thank you.
The sharing contact with district, zone and RI contacts. So part of that is putting our poster onto the district website in as many places as they're happy for us to post it, including their calendar. Riona is meeting with Dan Jabril, I think you should pronounce his surname, later this week. She will be talking about various bits and pieces that he wanted her help with, and at the same time, Riona will be asking Dan for help to see how we can put our content on the district website. Any questions in relation to what we, and when I say we, I mean the marketing and PR subcommittee are doing in relation to district? Everything else in relation to district is nothing to do with the marketing and PR committee. Gary.
Rod, just a question regarding giving material to Jennifer and her assistant for them to post. Who's doing that?
Sorry, I didn't think you finished.
Well, yeah, just a question. Who's doing that? Is that something that I should be doing? Is that something you're doing?
Judy, as Judy sent out draft versions of various documents about an hour ago now, and we will be going through those hopefully tomorrow. The marketing and PR subcommittee, plus anyone else that tells me they want to be involved in that review. And the key one document in that pack is the poster, and the poster is what I will send to Jennifer's assistant. So
you will take care of that.
Yes, and you'll know I've done it because I'll copy you in.
Good. Okay, I just want to verify that. All right. March on.
So the only other point that I'm going through the minutes from last week. The last point in this section was about a potential Rotary magazine article. So do we have an update on that from anybody?
That won't happen. Too
Okay.
late.
Okay. So
That doesn't
any,
mean, that doesn't mean that, for example, Jennifer has agreed to do a short video to post it on her web, promoting the event. So the sooner we get her this information and the bulletin,
Yep.
the better. It's late.
yeah, that's true. I wasn't able to send all the information to Judy until late Sunday, and Judy and Lara were able to turn that around in less than 2 days. So that was really good. So hopefully we can now conclude on that and move on.
Okay.
Get it out there. Bob.
One question, maybe I missed this. When will we have that poster I can send to all my contacts?
That's what we were just talking about.
Why don't we show it right now?
Because I don't want 10 people to say, oh, what about this? And what about that? And what about that? And there's key things I want to discuss with you.
So we'll have that.
Why?
Rod,
Have you
Rod,
looked at it?
let's assure we're not going to change it. I think if you
No,
can
it's
show
beautiful.
people,
No,
it would be really good. Because this is not an edit committee. It's your decision. Okay.
But don't you want to see it?
Yes.
But
Well,
do you want to see it draft or do you want to see it finished tomorrow?
It is Rod's decision.
It's your decision, Rod. But I mean, showing it right now wouldn't hurt because I think are you going to show the progress?
Well, it looks very similar to the save the date.
Okay.
Just show very quickly,
No,
15
there's
seconds.
changes.
There's changes and
There's
there's changes I want to
updates.
go through with you that to change back.
I'm over.
Because-
I'm out. I'm out. Okay. We've spent hours this afternoon. I thought that George wanted me to be prepared to share. I'm out. All right. I've done what I can do. Michael, I will continue to work with you on the PowerPoint. I don't understand why we can't be sharing that. I don't understand what else would want to be added to it. It's very similar to what we've had in
Do
the
you really want me
past.
to go through now and give you all
Laura
the
does
feedback?
beautiful
Or
work.
do you want me to give you the feedback tomorrow?
I think we should do the feedback tomorrow, just based on the emotion in the room. I suggest we take it offline.
And I can,
Rod, when you're comfortable, please just make sure you send it to everybody as soon as you can. Okay.
well, you can, I've just put it on the screen. I think we can all see that.
Yep.
So as you can see, at a high level, it looks very similar to the save the date poster. So I will go through differences with I'll give Judy my feedback tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Looking good. Just I think right now we have to just get it out. Okay.
Has Judy left already?
It looks like it.
Looks like it. Don't worry. March
Um,
on.
So, George, did you have your hand up or are you just adjusting your?
I'm just adjusting my,
Okay.
I see Ray Townsend's arrived.
Yeah. In fairness, well, I won't say, but I didn't see nor was I really involved in that until about an hour before the meeting. so anyway, I agree with the decision to not show it and not walk through it. Thank you, Rod, for your patience. So the marketing committee is going to go through that in detail tomorrow, and Rod has invited anybody who's interested in looking at it in detail to let him know after this meeting or right now, if you can get into email and let him know. And he'll let you know when that meeting is. The poster is key input for a number of different things. And when that's finalized, Rod will share that with Jennifer's team, which is the conversation that Gary had. Rod, what is the one-line summary about Dan Dubroy's, our interaction with Dan Dubroy at District? I was looking at something and I missed that part of the conversation.
Just that Fiona will be speaking with Dan this week in relation to other things, and when she discusses that, she'll be asking about how we can put our poster on the district website.
Rudy said that he was going to help get stuff out to various sites within the district and so on. Is he still taking that responsibility? Does anybody know?
Well, Rudy, I think what Rudy agreed to do was to speak with his extensive list of Rotary contacts, and I'm not, I don't know this for sure, but I think that Rudy has already started to send it out to, by email, and he's already, he has several Rotary meetings per week, and he's
Per
just
day. Yep.
mentioning it in those Rotary meetings. I do know that he's posted, what I've shared so far on social media. Rudy has shared that too, and I mean that's the way to get it out organically rather than paying for it. Is that if you see something on Facebook, then you like it, you share it, because I can reach out to 50 people, but if you like and share it, then you reach out to your 50 people, and they reach out to their 50 people, and suddenly we've reached out to 1 million people, all for free.
Yep.
So that's what I need everyone to do on this call, please. Like and share.
Yeah. Mike sent out something to all members in the last week with the sponsorship kit, and he asked them to do 3 things. And I think Michael Conway will tell you that his MailChimp, there's a couple, there's going to be a bunch of follow-ups, but I think we need to get very deliberate with our RCO members as well. When we have this member kit, send it out and ask them to do exactly what you just said, Rod, to go into their email contact list and send that kit to their contacts and ask them with their own personal view to join us on the 9th of March.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Okay. Anything else, Rod?
Just a question. So we'll be getting a sponsors package plus a poster to work
You
with.
already got the
We already got
sponsors.
the sponsors package, but then the next thing we're going to get is this poster that we can distribute to our contact.
The two documents that I asked Judy for, which she's given me as draft. One is the poster, and the other one is what we call the members pack, which is essentially page 1 is the poster, and then the other pages are copied from the sponsorship pack.
Okay. Understood. Yeah.
But it doesn't refer. The membership kit doesn't refer to sponsorship and takes out sponsorship levels and that stuff. Because this is to communicate to people who are not going to be sponsors, but we'd like to attend.
Judy and Laura also created a banner, which move on from that, and PowerPoint slide drafts. I think Michael has been included in that. I don't know whether Michael intends to use those, but that's something else that Judy sent out today.
Rod, what are the PowerPoints for?
Let me just, if I show you, it's probably easier than explaining what it is. Share screen. Can you see that?
Yep.
So basically, I don't know whether anyone asked Judy to do this, but she's come up with these suggestions to say, well, this is what we would use on the night. This is what we would put on our screen on the night. So
I did ask for this last week. That was the discussion last week.
So
that's go through them.
So this is page 2. This is page 3. Or just kind of slightly different versions of it. I think they're just sort of basic mock-ups of you know, this is what we can do. Do you want us to do it? So
Okay.
I'm
So
just
that would-
mentioning this
that may be
briefly.
Something that circulates 15 minutes before the 7 o'clock start.
Could be, yep.
No. I mean, I guess that's what we're looking at the program for. If you go back to that chart package, Rod, can you bring it up again? No, I think there are charts that we need to tell Judy or Lara to make to play. I don't know, I guess I understand the flow, Gary. You know, maybe the master ceremonies wants to bring up this chart as they're talking.
No,
No?
I'm going to tell you honestly is that PowerPoints will kill you.
Okay, well, then I guess. Okay.
If you start adding PowerPoints into people, I mean, our probability of making a mistake just escalates. Now,
Okay.
something like that from 7:45 to 8 o'clock that flips so people can see the program and it kind of entertains them as they're waiting to be let in. That's fine.
Sorry, 6:45.
6:45 to 7.
My apologies, 6:45. Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no, again, no, I have no problem if the group is deciding not to do the PowerPoints, but we, again, waiting for the program. So the view is based on what you sent or what George has sent, a couple of PowerPoints at the beginning of welcoming, but there's no PowerPoints required from 7 till 8:30 of pictures of the speakers, picture of the bios, pictures of the master ceremonies, of the three ladies, anything like that. We are just going from one talking head to another talking head to another talking head with perhaps a video inserted in. That's the flow.
Got it.
Yes?
That would be my recommendation.
Okay.
Now, look, I mean, if this was a CBC presentation, you could do all that type of stuff. All I'm saying is, my worry is the more you add this type of stuff in, even as you made the comment, the video, even adding a bit adds a complexity. And as soon as we get slides in it, I'm worried. So I would think for our first time out the gate, let's keep it stupid as far, keep it simple, stupid, as much as we can. But the idea of having something like that from 6:45 to 7, so that people could see, oh, this is the flow, there's the people, and this is what Inspire does and all that'd be great.
Okay, so let's just close this because it'll make my job and Hassan's job easier and whoever the producer is easier. Let me just also close the fundraising. We don't even need a thermometer. We just need the master ceremony to say, I'm looking at the screen to my right and I see 50%.
Michael, I would say that may be an exception. It depends how easy it is to do and how professional it looks.
Yeah.
Having it would be really good, I think. I think it's a good idea. That we can put up as we go through, or just pops up on the screen or something. But that would be the exception.
Yeah. Okay. I guess this is what we're going to do on the 2 dry runs. So all I'm hearing is a couple of charts.
And we may find that we need slides after we do the first dry run or something. But my tendency would be just to keep it simple.
Yeah, I think the work done to date has not been wasted, because we do want to have something to entertain people at the front end.
Yeah.
And that power plate templates will be a good format to populate with entertainment at the front end.
Okay.
Rod, could you throw those slides up again? I want to make some comments here because we're running out of time. We need more pizzazz, less white space. White is a horrible color, behind the way we've done it, blue on white. Even if you put a wallpaper background or something in, even the small Rotary logo, but just having a white background like that, or just a solid blue background, at least be cold. That they're pretty average slides if we're going to do it. Not the one you've got with the speakers, because that's very busy. Like that looks great. That looks fine. Okay. But as you go to the others, avoid white space or large blank spaces without some kind of wallpaper in the back.
Okay, somebody has to go tell G that. Good luck.
Well, I'm getting to the point where I'm quite prepared to, because we got to get this done, and it just it is what it is. I mean, good enough isn't good enough. I'm going to be honest. All right? This is our reputation here.
So the PowerPoint is not wasted, Michael. What I would suggest is you circulate that to this entire committee.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not personally offended because I gave the action to Judy. So I said we
But
just
it
have
is-
another holding place. So, but I'm
It's
what
not
I'm,
wasted. We will end up using some of this stuff.
yeah.
Oh, I think
And
we use it all.
exactly, yeah, and-
Let me deal with Judy tomorrow and Laura, okay, on the slides, okay?
Okay, doke.
Okay.
I wouldn't throw away the idea of the thermometer. It's just a matter of how can we do that in a high quality way.
Like if we
Yeah,
could
yeah,
have the
hold that
thermometer
thought.
in the bottom right-hand corner that would pop up every once in a while, that would make me die and go to heaven.
Yeah. Just one comment on, or question, I should say, on the registration page. Rod, you mentioned it was showing N dollars, but that N dollars excludes any sponsorship funds, right? And our 50, is that a
Just donations.
just donations? And our 50,000 target is the total of all donations and sponsorships. So I don't think we should change it from 50 to 30, but is there a way to, anyway?
Here, the suggestion on that one, George, what you do is you say the fundraiser and you have the thermometer going up. And then in the last 10 minutes, we add the sponsorship net dollars in, all right, to take it up. So you keep it low, and you may want to even put some of those sponsorship dollars in as you go along to show it going up and actually with the needle moving. So that's why the needle idea is a good idea.
Yeah, I like the needle or the thermometer idea. And that slide or icon or graphic, I think, is good. Absolutely.
And feed it. And while we have the 50,000, you only at the beginning for the first half have the donations coming in, and we say it's slow, and then feed it in so people can see it. That when I think that's what I do.
Yeah.
So if it looks like, with the sponsorship and everything, we've exceeded the objective significantly.
Gary, you're absolutely correct. You shaped the trickle of the
A
funds.
trickle. Hey, there's the man in himself. Okay.
He's been hiding.
You force the trickle based on what our motivation is in terms of the fundraising. I agree 100%.
Okay, so just as we talked earlier, welcome, Ray. I'm not sure when you came on board, but just as earlier, we all nodded in violent agreement when Gary said we need to have this totally scripted and nothing goes by chance. Let's script our, whatever you called it, Ray, that donation trickle. And can I leave that with the sponsorship group to script the trickle?
Script the trickle. Okay.
I like the way you say that.
What you'll need is somebody watching the thermometer and managing the flow of our sponsorship dollars into the total funds so as it's encouraging. So at the very beginning, people say, boy, that's an awful high objective. But,
Yep.
This is the night of, or we're starting right now?
You start the script right now, but then you got to be doing it kind of real time on the night and changing maybe your plan. But
it's a little bit like the Toy Mountain. Toy Mountain had all the money in a month before December 25th.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, $50,000 checks show up from the firemen December 24th.
Yeah.
The current needle though is on Canada Helps. They're the ones who have the needle, control of the needle.
Yeah.
At the present time.
Right.
Yeah. The
We'll
bounce,
have to have
Gary.
somebody feeding them the information.
Gary, that bounce that you're talking about has to be shaped by one individual.
Yeah.
So if it's not moving at a pace, then you have a bounce.
Well, it could be nothing more than Ray, you yourself or someone go online and put the sponsorship dollars in. It could be as simple as that. Like feed the sponsorship dollars in over the course of the hour and a half.
we need to we're not going to answer that question now. What we've done is identified the need for a scripted, but real-time and nimble feeding of that information out. So somebody needs to kind of think that through in terms of the script, and then understand how we're going to keep it real time and feed it appropriately. George?
If you feed it in during the thing, are we paying a fee to put that money on the screen?
That's a good point, George.
Well, if we went through Canada Helps, I guess we'd pay a fee, but putting it on the screen in our thermometer or thing is under our control.
Right.
So we need to think all of that through, and how are we going to do that in a way that, Ray, what was the term you used?
Trickle.
The trickle bounce or whatever it was?
Oh, God.
Okay.
Wait, we need to
George,
think that through.
George, you, Bob, and I can put the metrics together, which is just little points. If we're not at that level, we take a bounce.
Yes.
And we go back to a trickle. And then on another level, we go to a bounce.
Right.
Or maybe a half a bounce. So it's very easy for us to structure that. So if our objective is, I've got asks out right now for about $75,000 right now with corporate sponsors.
Yep.
If we will certainly meet the budget, we might even get to 50. But my point is, we can take those monies and we can make impact bounces, or we can make just motivation bounces. Between you, Bob, and I, we can sort that out, I think, and build a timesheet, basically.
It is a timesheet. It's based on time. It needs to be integrated into the agenda.
We can get it done.
Yeah.
Think of this as a reality, a TV program, and as you all know, they're all scripted. Okay.
Exactly.
This is a scripted program.
Right. So
that'll all be done. That'll all be done on the night of, and we need to figure out how to put a thermometer up first to be able to do that.
No, it's not all done the night of. We're going to figure out the time at 7:32. We're going to look at where our donations are, and depending on where they are, we are going to do this.
Yeah.
And at 7:57, we're going to look at where our donations are, and depending on where they are, we're going to do this. That's what Bob and Ray and I are going to sort out, and then we need to integrate it with the agenda. Right. Okay. So it's real time the night of, but we're going to script it, right? Based on if we're there, then this happens. If we're not there, then this happens at this point in time. Right. So yes, Michael or Mike Henry, it is real time, but we know what's going to happen at those particular points in time based on where we are.
And we need to figure out how to put a thermometer on first.
A thermometer or something.
Right.
Details.
No details.
Right. Rod?
Can we convert our Inspire donation into a number of students being supported? So if we give 25,000, does that mean 5 students? Does it mean 25 students?
We can ask Rod. We can ask that. That may be something we want to consider in the script. All right. I can easily ask Cindy that. Okay.
Because I think I mentioned to Michael last week, I think it was, instead of having a thermometer, we have a row of stick people that are, say, colored in white, and then and that represents 50,000.
You gotta be careful with stick people these days.
No stick people, no.
What?
Shut it, turn everybody down.
Particularly given what we're raising money for, the stick people, it may be deemed inappropriate.
Yeah, that's right.
Racist. Everything except a circle or something is inappropriate. So anyway. I don't even think we can have mercury in the thermometer, because mercury is not appropriate.
Rod, I'm going to tell you, the fellow that was setting up our engineering faculty at Brock did a presentation, and he used stick people, I heard about it for 3 months, how it was inappropriate for him to do that. To this day, I haven't quite figured out why, but it,
Yeah. Okay, this has been a good conversation. I just want to circle back. Rod's going to finalize the materials tomorrow, and anybody that wants to participate in that conversation around the poster and the membership kit, let Rod know after this. Gary's going to talk to Judy about the slides. I'm not sure what we're seeing here or why on the screen right now, but Gary's going to talk to Judy about the slides. So hopefully you got a copy of those, Gary.
no, someone can send them to me, and
Yeah.
I'll go out and get a Cavalier jacket.
And I'll set up a meeting with Ray and Bob and anybody else that wants to participate around our scripted trickle, which will be a, every 10 minutes, where are we? And what are we going to do at that juncture? And how do we fit that into the agenda in the absence of a real-time thermometer or whatever? Okay, so I will set something up. Bob, are you okay with that? Because Ray kind of volunteered you. Thumbs up?
Welcome to Rotary.
That was his middle finger, not his thumb.
But geez,
all right. So that was good. Sponsorship.
Okay.
Ray, what are you doing?
Let me just share my screen here. So this is the tracker that I've set up with Bob, and now we've added Ray onto it. I haven't heard from Ray in the last couple of days, so Ray, jump in anytime you feel it appropriate.
I'll do it right now.
Okay,
So-
well, okay.
So,
Let me just give me a second, okay?
okay.
So far, without Ray's input, we've raised 17,000 so far for donations for the sponsorship packages. That includes Paul Bannon-Law and Bob and Peggy Dodds in here. We've had 2 new ones this week. We've had Rob McKitchen actually, who's a Remax dealer, Remax agent. And Bob has brought him in for a silver sponsor.
Great.
And just early this afternoon, Judy confirmed that the Oakville Independent Schools have come in for a gold sponsorship for $5,000. So
Fantastic.
that predates, or that's after Mahendra's financial update, because I just got it just a few hours ago. So that brings us up to $17,000. We've got a lot of them out right now. So Ray's got a few out to Scotia Wealth and Gowlings.
Yep.
I've been talking with Aaron Mills Acura. They're waiting for a week or so. Acura has to come back and confirm that they're okay for sponsorships. They're all on hold because of the pandemic right now. They have to pay half of it. So I'm not sure whether that's going to come through or not. And Bob's got a few out there as well. He's waiting to hear back from Zonta, EXP Services, and also we've got Oakland Ford. I did send that package out to everybody last week and asked them to send it out to the various people they thought might be sponsors. And our newest member, Bob Miskelly, sent it out to Oakland Ford as well, because he's been dealing with Loomis Shadow for 35 years, he says. And lo and behold, Ray's already been in contact with him. So I've asked Bob to basically hold back, and Ray's going to manage that relationship with Oakland Ford. So we've got a few others that we're looking at too. French Drain Man, I guess, Bob, is one of your folks too. And we need to look at maybe Pam Damoff and possibly Diane Durham, but they're probably stretches at that point. So Ray, I know you've been talking with Scotia Wealth and Gowling, so maybe you can bring your updates in now.
I've been working with them and a lot more.
Okay.
Derek has not got back to me as yet. He's got another 2 days to sort it out with their corporate offices downtown. But and same with Gowlings, it's got to go up the hill. But in all of the companies that I've contacted, I've got $52,000 of asks out. My hope is by the end of this week, I'll have $75,000 of corporate asks out. But as I said, we'll certainly, to Mahendra's benefit, we'll certainly meet the budget, and I think that we'll exceed it. Interesting enough, the reason I was late for this Zoom meeting is I talked to Andrew Ballahura tonight at the Halton Region, George, about some of the things that you and I are talking about, but he's in for $1,000. He still has to get it signed off, but he's the chief operating officer, so I have no doubt that he'll come through.
So I'll change him to a silver.
So by Friday, Mahendra, I'll be able to update this.
Okay, so I'll follow up with you before the weekend and see where we stand in terms of the.
I'll just flip you off a quick little email and you can change the tote board.
You talked with CSL, obviously.
Yeah, they're in too.
Okay.
So we'll update it, Mahendra, by the end of the week.
Okay, excellent. Because what I'd like to do is before the next meeting, I'd like to update it and distribute to everyone so that they get a updated picture of where we stand, on the sponsorships and donations.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I didn't have the time until this week to really get on this. So.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We'll get through it.
We still have time.
George, as you're sitting there, George, or are you sleeping? Andrew's going to set up a time for us.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
He apologized that he couldn't get back faster, but I talked to him tonight.
Excellent.
So Gary, you had mentioned that one of the sponsors was going to be on the program, thanking, I guess, the speaker.
Well, if you look at the program, there's spots for introduction and thanking. So we could have our $5,000 sponsors doing that if we don't get 10s or 25, okay?
Yeah, Ray's been asking for 25 and 10 from the Scotia Wealth and Gowling.
Yeah, so let's wait for that, and then before we put names in. So I wouldn't approach anybody that's given 5 to do that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, good idea, Gary.
So I guess, Ray, that means that when you're talking to those two folks, indicate that we may want them to be making, introductions at our at the event.
Sounds like a plan.
They have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have for sponsorships right now.
Good. I think that's in good shape.
Excellent.
And glad you're back in the saddle, Ray.
Well, it's nice to be done with that other crap.
Right. Okay, Michael, our IT platform. We've had a lot of conversation about it already, but
I don't know what to say at this moment. I got the suggestion from Mike Henry last week on the producer, but we've been playing with the software. This is our second time. District is willing to help us as well. But when I just look at the program that you sent, George, other than the beginning, which is a video that we're going to find in the next week or so, we're going to do 2 dry runs. What I read from 7 to 8:30 is mostly heads with a couple of thermometers. So we'll talk about the producer, but each person is going to be looking after turning on their mic and their video. Like the producer's not going to put you live, George, because you could be picking your nose at showtime. So the design has to be that everybody turns themselves on.
I don't think I'd be doing that, Michael, but I could be doing something embarrassing.
No, I don't know what, I think we're actually generally in good shape because the way that the program is flowing as I read it here is just one head to another. So once we've got the 7 or 8 heads and we've got it a bit clearly defined in the email or Word document that your head is now to be on because it's showtime for you, I don't see this as a complex program.
My nephew, when I asked him, he said, this guy will give you an absolutely polished professional performance. He can do all the graphics like it was a TV show. He said, this guy for $2,500 will make this look totally professional for us. No issues at all. So, and for that little money.
My vote, Mike Henry, is we spent $2,500.
I would agree.
This is about the Rotary Club of Oakville's brand. And our brand is
quality,
generates value. It represents quality. We've had high quality speakers.
Yeah.
We decided not to go with the very popular David Suzuki because he's not a high quality speaker.
No, he's not.
Right? So we are sticky about stuff, and part of that is the execution. And quite frankly, $2,500 is for flawless execution, and people going away going, wow, the Rotary Club of Oakville knows how to do a webinar. And not only was the content compelling, but it was executed very, very well and very polished. That adds to our brand. I'm reminded of a story that I can't tell you exactly, but you can be an engineer and build all the best bridges throughout your life, and you have one slip up and you're known for that slip up for the rest of your days.
Yep.
This could be, they could be the best speakers. They could be the best panel discussion. It could be flawless, except for one little faux pas, and everybody's going to go away remembering that faux pas. So we need to make sure that we do everything we can to not have that faux pas. Sorry, Bob. I'll get off the pedal.
Have we retained this individual?
We're not yet, but I'm recommending we retain him.
I think we should, go.
We have to make sure he's available first too.
Well, let's see if he's available. Look, I support 100% what George is saying, because quite honestly, if this works, this is our new speaker series. You would never really go back to the other one because you can raise an awful lot more money doing it this way.
It's going to be a couple of years before people are going back. And
so I would say that if we look at it not just as a cost, but a true investment, all right, I think doing it right is really important.
I agree.
Rate the purchase order.
Yeah.
So, Ray, $2,500 more.
Nothing. No problem.
Very done.
Done.
Gary,
Done.
have we locked the master ceremonies? Has that name been locked down? Oh,
No, we're still talking about that, about who should do that. George and I who talked about it.
Okay.
okay. Anyway, that's the update, George. That's it. There's no other than
Great. So we've got the dry runs, and I'll schedule those.
What you call it? The dry runs?
Yeah.
Yes.
You come in late.
Okay. There's dress rehearsals, and then there's the full dress rehearsal. So we've scheduled 2 dress rehearsals before the full dress rehearsal, and I'll put those in the calendar. Sorry, Ray. And who's going to follow up with this contact that Mike Henry provided? Is that you, Michael?
sure.
Okay. You don't sound.
Well, I'm just trying to
Don't
understand.
sound committed.
Well, I'm not. It's not my money. I don't care. It's okay. I'm not taking it personally. But I'm just saying everybody should go look at that program. And as we had the discussion 5 minutes ago, which was all good, other than a couple of charts in the video at 6:45 to 7, I'm just seeing a flow of everybody,
Yeah.
punches,
Well,
goes in and out. So I
what
don't
I'm
know
hearing-
quite what the producer does, but we'll call him in. No problem.
Yeah.
What I heard Mike Henry say is this guy may take that agenda and not dramatically change it, but he could do some stuff to it that makes us all go, hey, let's do that.
Yeah,
right?
he'll do speaker prep as well, and all that stuff too for for people who have to speak like me and other folks that may not be professional speakers.
I like the sounds of it.
Okay.
If you can lock those 3 dates though down, George, the 2 dry
Yep.
runs and the speaker prep, whatever we call that one, and so we can lock it into the system. And I'll put them.
Okay.
Your email had the guy's phone number on it, Mr. Henry?
He didn't provide a phone number. He provided an email, and apparently you have to make an appointment with him via email or something. So,
I have to make it, okay. I'll track him down. Okay.
okay. He's in Waterloo, so he's local, so that makes it a lot easier too.
What's the
Let's hope he's
What's the
available.
difference between Waterloo and Vancouver, Mike, in the world of IP? It's all the same.
3 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah. And if he's not available, Michael, ask him who is
Yeah,
best.
yeah, I'll go one round, no problem.
Okay.
If he's not available, ask him who is best competition.
I would like to be plugged into him early on, okay, if we decide to go with him.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard what I said in the cacophony there, but I think we're all aligned about having a producer that can make this look like a truly polished event. If this guy's not available, ask him who he would recommend.
Okay.
And then we need to get on the horn to him without delay to see if we can get that rolling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move on.
Thank you. George is giving me the sign again. Finance, Mahendra?
Well, earlier today, I sent you the package, and basically what it comes down to is that, well, this is before the update provided this evening. We had $16,000 in sponsorships and donations pledged, and against which we have incurred expenses of $13,000. So we have about $3,000 left in the black. Plus we were gonna get about $1,000 in terms of rebate, so $4,000 in the black so far. And these are the early days, and hopefully we'll see more traffic on the Canada Health site to ramp up the donations. That's basically my update. Whether anyone else any other questions about the financials. The only thing is that I think there's a need to be a clarification as to, there are a couple of people who have donated $1,000 each, how they would be shown on the posters and other documents that we'll be posting, would it be, under, friends of Rotary and names, or individual? I don't know what the decision have been made,
Did we have something like that historically, Mahendra?
I think in the past, I think we did mention, I know going back
We
a couple
always
years
did.
ago, we had names, but I don't think we had a subcategory of friends of Rotary or something like that. But that's something to consider,
Yeah. Mahendra, from my memory, we've always had Friends of Rotary.
Yeah, you might be right, but yeah, so it may not be a bad idea to do it.
But it's a recognition.
Of course.
Is Paul Bannon going to be a sponsor or a donor? Do we give him a tax receipt, or is he
Well,
going to be an actual corporate sponsor?
Paul putting it through the company. It will be he'll be doing it through Bannon.
Okay, I've reached out to him for his logo, but I haven't heard back yet. So okay.
Yeah, so bye.
Yeah, so it's going to be under his company's name, right?
Yeah, it'd be under his company's name, but we all have to understand Paul, okay? It may take him a while. He is not the most organized. I remember showing up in his office one day and saying, and he walks out and he has a suit on. And I said, "Oh, you look good today." And he says, "I wore a suit for your closing." I said, "The closing's tomorrow." He says, "I may wear one tomorrow also."
Did he?
That's Paul.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll switch. I'll show him under sponsors rather than donors.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Okay. But
Mike, Mike, who's handling the gatekeeping of corporate logos?
The folks who are getting the sponsors are taking them and sending them into Rod, and Rod's going to put them on the websites and on all of our packages.
Okay, what resolution do you need, Rod?
As big as possible, because if you look at the file size and it's, I don't know, 25, 50, 100,
yeah,
then K, then that's probably too small.
Yeah, it would be way too small for what.
But it doesn't need to be 6 meg. Okay. So it just needs to be a reasonable resolution. Otherwise, it will just look fuzzy.
But there's
I'm happy to give feedback if anyone says, for example, is this good enough? But yeah, it's a bit of an odd process because
I understand.
You sponsorship guys are collecting them, sending them to me. I'm then sending them to Riona so she can put on our website, and then sending them to Judy so she can send them to Lara so she can put them on the poster. So it's a bit of a long process, but hopefully not too long. Bob.
Okay.
Almost any sponsor who's a company, they will know what resolution. They do this all the time.
Well, you'd hope so, but if you just take one look at there's been at least one logo that wasn't good resolution, and if you look at what I shared earlier from Judy and Lara, Sandra's picture is quite fuzzy, so not everyone understands high resolution.
I can tell you Sandra's much better looking in person than the rest here. Gary, you would agree with me.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, you're crossing a line here, Ray.
Yeah. Just while we are on the financials, one thing, if any of the sponsors need invoice, let me know. I got a template set up, and so that I can easily produce it now.
That's good to know.
Very good.
I just did one for Oakville Hydro a couple of days ago.
Good. Okay, thanks, Mahendra. Other partner coordination. I guess it's over to you, Jean.
I don't think there's anything new to report.
Okay. Well, the good news is Judy got one of the partners there, which is the Oakville Independent Schools, to be a $5,000 sponsor. That's pretty
wonderful.
Yeah,
that's good news.
That's very good.
She said that.
And she's also asked them to circulate the information about our speaker series to all the schools as well.
Yeah.
So I guess as soon as the package is ready, that'll go out to the independent schools as well too.
Yeah. So in her absence, kudos to Judy for both of those. And you'd mentioned a number of associations that you're liaising with, and I'm sure there's things advancing there. The one open switch in my mind is still what's going on with how we're getting presence in the Rotary clubs and that kind of transparency. So I will talk.
I'm not sure how that's happening.
Yeah, so I will talk to Rudy.
Okay.
Because he said he would do something there, and maybe we just need to get clear about what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you heard further as to what's happening with the Appleby College? Is there all in tune? Are we all in tune with what they need?
I believe we are. We've agreed, and everybody's agreed that we will make a recording of the event available to them.
Yeah, but in terms of the posting on their through their news weekly newsletters,
I think they've got what they need. But
yeah, because they have the
so we have appeared in the last 2 weeks' newsletters, but the newsletters are many, many pages long. So I don't know whether people get to the bottom or not. But at the moment they've included the banner that Judy sent them. So I asked Judy to send them the poster when it's ready, because The banner's that big and the poster will be that big. So it's still not huge, but the poster is considerably better than the banner.
I think so. Plus, and the main thing is to have a link to.
I think the link is there already.
In the newsletter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so one follow-up there, actually two follow-ups. Kudos to Judy for the $5,000 and the connections. And number two, I will talk to Rudy about Rotary. Gary, I'm going to give you the follow-up for the kudos to Judy because I think you're going to talk to her about the slide deck anyway, okay?
Yep.
Okay, good. That was basically everything. Is there any outstanding item? Like, we're getting close, guys. And I think it's coming together, but there's still a lot of work to do. Anything that's nagging somebody right now?
My wife.
You keep crossing this line, Ray. You've got to stop it.
Now, was he supposed to say his partner? Is that the issue?
She's got a honey-do list for me. It's just going to keep me active until I die.
Too stereotypical.
I'm just going to add, keep in mind that sticks have feelings.
Yeah.
Okay, Michael Conway.
Nice way to end.
Michael Conway, anything bothering you? Like?
No, I'm good.
Okay, George. Apart from these meetings going on so long?
No, not at all. Just fine. Yeah.
Mike Henry?
I'm fine.
Okay, Bob? Ray?
My youthful energy.
And it's welcome on the team. Rod?
Haircut.
Okay, my haircut. Gene, everything okay?
Good.
All right.
Where's
Hassan?
Hassan? Does anybody see Hassan's head? Because I guess when it goes in video mode, it gets hidden.
Okay. And Gary, how are you feeling?
I'm trying to figure out whether to phone Judy in the morning or the afternoon.
Well, a nice touch might be to send her an email right after this because we just learned about the $5,000 because that is significant.
No, very good, George. I think I'll send roses instead.
And copy everybody, right? Anyway, okay. I think that's it then. So our next meeting is next Tuesday. There will be a couple of offline meetings. Apparently, Bob and Ray and I are going to look about I'll get the terminology right, but how we're going to tweak the donations and sponsorship dollars to show the thermometer.
Could somebody find out just what is available? Is it a needle or a thermometer? Who's going to find that out?
That'll be Michael Conway.
Sorry, what's the question? It was just an idea. What's the concern? What's the needle? What's the needle?
Yeah, well, the show donations that are coming in, will it be a thermometer or a needle? Could you find out what's available?
I think we need to wait for the producer. He might be able to find that for us.
The producer might be able to figure that out.
Okay, thanks.
We may, but then we may need to figure out how to feed him the data into that thermometer or whatever it is on a real-time basis. And the script that Bob and Ray and I are going to work on feeds information into that, right?
Okay, but I'm not, we'll see what the producer says. I'm looking at the script. There is no thermometer placeholder, but you guys can add that in.
There were a couple. I thought I saw a couple in this.
They're not thermometer. They're specific references to this is a fundraiser will be in all the scripts, okay? All the way through.
I see.
But what we need is some icon in the bottom right-hand corner, like a thermometer that moves to show the progress of success.
And it's not stick people.
It's not stick people.
Okay, thanks, Rod. So, Michael, put that on your list of things to talk to the producer about. He may come back and say he doesn't have anything, but and then we'll go.
Yeah.
So I'm just putting this up on the screen just to show you that you can create a thermometer simply using Excel. If this graphic is good enough, then you can create it in Excel. And then as you change the number, it will automatically change the picture.
But it's not the picture, it's getting that graphic to be on the bottom right-hand corner while the discussion is taking place. And it goes in and then it goes out. It goes in and it goes out.
Yep.
And a slightly more exciting graphic. I like the thermometer idea, but there might be something more exciting.
Well, maybe we can get Tina Turner to be beside it. All right, enough, guys.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Mike Henry, can I?
Yes, sir.
Can we chat either now or tomorrow morning? You decide.
Thanks,
Sure.
everybody. Good
Bye.
stuff. Yeah. Good night.
You want to chat now?
Ray, can I mention one thing,
Sure.
Scotiabank, I was talking to the account manager and he said that he's looking for a document with your signature on it.
I've signed everything.
Everything?
I believe.